Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I am Nancy Ortinau with Cooking with Nancy O, and my husband Rick. He's always here by my side helping me. We have a wonderful recipe for you today. We have three ingredients that we're using off of the tower. One is zucchini. Does that not look awesome? That looks like a flamingo, according to my grandson. Now, the reason we're going to dive into the recipe right away, while Rick is browning the meat, then I'm going to fill you in on some other things. So what we're making today is a recipe called Burrito Zoodles. Sorry. When I saw this recipe, I thought we have to do this. My father used to make this recipe called a Mexican luncheon, and I absolutely loved it. And this reminds me of a healthy version of that. So that's why I picked this. And what we did already in the skillet behind us is we have already browned in like 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We have added our onions and cooked them. And then we added our garlic, and that just cooks for like another minute. So the next thing we're adding is some ground beef. And since that's going to take a little bit of time browning, Rick's going to start browning that for me while I cover some basics about our recipe. But first, we have something. Today is a very exciting day for us. We have a grandson celebrating his 7th birthday. Happy birthday to our little Nathan. He is 7 years old. He is like just a dynamite kid. He's starting 1st grade tomorrow, and we just want to give a big shout out to Nathan because how can you not? Happy birthday, Nathan. See you later today. Okay, he's our mixer, fix it, and repair it with Rick all the time. If he were here, he'd be at that stove with Grandpa, or Papa, as he calls him. Okay, diving into our recipe. The reason I picked zucchini again, one, this is just a fabulous looking a dish. We pre-made one. Zucchini is so available this time of year. It grows so well on the tower garden. And the reason this one has such an odd shape is because we have cages on the tower, and it literally started growing and then decided to wrap itself around the cage, just like the other one. So this is why we have such an odd shape on this. But guess what, guys? It tastes the same as a regular zucchini. That's straight. So we will be cooking this up later today, probably for something for the kids, like zucchini pizza or something. So I'm going to set that aside. And the other thing that we have here is our cherry tomatoes. We have to get these off the vine before Milton, our dog, eats them because he loves our cherry tomatoes. We grew those on the tower. And then we're also using some fresh cilantro, which we used up all of our fresh cilantro. But last year at the end of the season, when we cleared our tower, we dried some of our herbs. And so we are going to use dried cilantro. I know it's not going to have the fresh taste, but that's what we had on hand today. So now, the nutrition value of the zucchini, as we all know, is it's so dense in fiber and water. We all know it's a lower calorie vegetable. So what a great way to substitute noodles inside of our recipe with zoodles. All you do is put these through a little machine. We use our food processor, and we get them into these nice long forms, and they really do act as great noodles and great nutrition for you. Now, it looks like the ground beef is doing pretty well over there. Getting close. Okay. When he's done browning the ground beef, so we have our onions in there that we browned, and then we added a garlic. And how much garlic do we? 2 cloves of garlic. We just kind of, until it's cooked, about a minute. He has his pound of ground beef. He's going to drain the fat off of it. We use a pretty high grade of ground beef anyway, so there's probably not a lot of fat in there. And while he's over there doing that, the next thing we're going to add to the recipe is our spices. So what I have in here is I did a couple pinches of salt, a pinch of pepper, and we have some cumin in here, and we have some chili powder. All this is for flavor. You ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. Here's your spices. And then the other thing we're going to use is enchilada sauce. So we are going to add enchilada sauce, about a cup of that. He's making noise over here, guys. Okay. And then we have black beans because we know how wonderful black beans are for us. And then we also have some sweet corn. Corn is such a great thing to add to casseroles, and it's so prevalent this time of year. We happen to be using canned. We're trying to make the recipe good and fast and easy because we want you guys to make it an easy recipe for you. Okay, what else do we need over there? You got the oh, you need the cheese. Now the other thing is we're going to add some cheesy deliciousness to this. We have a cup of cheddar cheese here and a cup of shredded Monterey Jack. How do we make this healthier? We use the low-fat part skim cheese for this. Ready? Did you see how fast this recipe is coming together? Once that cheese is melted, oh, you're going to need the, I missed the tomatoes, honey. Got to have those fresh tomatoes in there. If you don't have fresh tomatoes, you can use canned tomatoes if you want. But I love using the fresh tomatoes off of the tower because there's nothing better than a homemade tomato. And we're starting to pull our tomatoes now. So they are looking really, really good out there. So you can see how fast this whole recipe came together. Basically, it takes like 5 minutes to do the onions, the garlic, and then add a couple more minutes when you brown the ground beef. And then you just add everything and see how he's just mixing it all together. Do you have another casserole dish out?
Yes.
I am going to go get him the casserole dish. Hang on.
Sure.
And then all we're doing is we're going to just put it right in this dish. And then guess what time it is, Rick? It's what time?
Best time.
The best time, he said. Okay, you ready for your zoodles? We're going to add the zoodles to it and get them in there. Is this not an easy recipe, guys? And what a great fast meal to come home and make. So if you were a working parent, I don't want to say just mom because dads cook too, you can pre-do this whole thing up to the ground beef. You could reheat that the day you're going to eat it and throw in the rest of the ingredients, and you would have dinner on the table lickety split. If you want to add a salad to it off the tower, what a great option. Okay, let's put it in the casserole dish now and see how everyone likes it. Right, we're ready for the casserole dish.
Yeah.
Okay, he's bringing it over now. I didn't hear. Now see how fast and easy that was to make. Excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat. I was trying to get him not to cook the noodles because I like them crunchy. And so that's why I kept having you. I didn't want them in the thing very long.
Right.
If you want your noodles more cooked, then by all means, cook them longer. You can kind of see the difference here. If we can get it on the camera, we have one that the noodles are cooked a little bit longer, and I want to show you what they would look like when they were not cooked as long. So you'll have a little more crunch with this. So Rick, are you ready to taste this? Oh, Rick is reminding me I forgot the cilantro. So I'm just going to cover this with cilantro, and that will be all good. Okay.
Now the best part.
Now the best part, Rick says. You have to say it loud enough for everyone to hear you. Okay.
Okay.
You guys think he's ready for this? We've never made this before, so I'm very excited about this one. There's nothing better than having a good casserole to eat.
Better try it again.
Better try it again? Okay, I'm tasting this one here.
That's very good.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this, guys. And you know, this recipe I told you that my dad used to make that I love so much. It was chock full of sour cream and all that. And you know how fattening that would be for you and unhealthy for your pores and your blood and all that. This is so good. It tastes just as good as my dad's recipe. And what a great healthy version this is. I think this is one of my favorite recipes I made. So I'm very excited to share this with the family today. And like I said, we grew 3 of the ingredients right on the tower, the cilantro, the cherries, and the zucchini. And what a great way to use up zucchini. You know, you get so much zucchini this time of year, and it's so wonderful to have on hand. Why not make zoodles out of the extra zucchini, put it in your Ziploc bag and freeze it? So in the dead of winter, you can be making this with your fresh ingredients. So I think it's a wonderful recipe. I would love for all of you guys to try it and let me know how you like it. What do you think? Thumbs up?
Yeah, was.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs.
So guys, next week we will be bringing you another great recipe. Oh, he's taking the food from me, guys. And if you're interested in learning more about our tower garden, just let me know. We have so many vegetables growing on our tower garden, as you could see. And we are getting more eggplant coming in. And I'm hoping to try a new recipe with eggplant next week because eggplant is so nutritious for you. And I've never eaten it before. And making that last recipe, I fell in love with eggplant. So I'm going to look for another delicious recipe to share with you with our eggplant next week. So until next week, you guys have a wonderful week. Be safe out there. Take care of yourself and love those grandchildren and children. And we will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's very good.
I miss eating casseroles.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great one.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.